Computers are like that.
So we are talking about first we talked about anapanasati, and we are talking about gladdening the mind, and then deep breathing uses. Do you think that is enough for me to get started on this way, like to get it out of my system?
All right. Well, let's do just a little bit more.
Okay.
All right. Let's talk about, because this is very, very valuable to put in context of Anapanasati,
Okay.
and that is this: the four, the four noble truths and the eightfold noble path. There are items on the eightfold noble path that are very valuable to understand when one begins to practice. The
Okay.
first one is right view. That in fact you're actually practicing because you do have right view.
Okay.
As you increase your practice, the right view will increase. Now,
Mhm.
the right view would be that it's better to have a uh, an attitude of joy and the attitude of a winner, someone who's successful, than it is to have the attitude of a loser.
Mhm.
Is that correct?
Of course.
Of course. All right. So this is why right view comes first, because if you don't have a reason or a rationale for practicing,
Uh huh.
then we will just get stuck in poor me. I can't get out of it.
Mhm.
So part of the right view is that you can do it. And so now what we're going to practice, and the number one skill to be developed is sati.
Okay.
Sati means you have to keep waking up and waking up and waking up and waking up over and over and over again, because the sleepiness is habitual.
And it has been going for many lives.
Well, it's been going on for a long time. It depends upon
Yes.
how you define many lives. But in this conversation, you've already taken on quite a few.
Yeah. Yes. True.
So many lifetimes is actually mind moments, and
Mind
we have
moments. Yep.
hundreds of them, sometimes hundreds a day.
Mhm.
So basically, what we're then looking at is to develop the skill of sati,
Okay.
and the sati is to wake up. Now that we wake up, we're going to do two things. We're going to gladden the mind, and we're going to deep breathe. The gladdening of the mind, you can see it in the sense of, aha, I saw that I was asleep. Or, aha, I see you, Mr. Junk Thought. Or, aha, I see you, Mr. Back Pain.
Mhm.
I'm aware of you. I note you.
Mhm.
I've woken up to this situation. And
Mhm.
that this leads then eventually to the feeling, and when I say eventually, it can happen within a minute or so, within 20 seconds. Eventually, we begin to feel successful. I can do this.
Yes.
That's the important point. So,
Mhm.
gladdening the mind is actually using one's right effort. Taking a deep breath takes effort. This is one's
Mhm.
right effort. So, we have right view, we have right sati, to right remembrance and right effort. Those together will give us right attitude.
Mhm.
And that attitude is a can do attitude. I can do this.
Okay.
And you keep practicing that over and over and over and over and over again. And that's a whole lot better thing to practice than, oh, I feel bad, or my back hurts, or I lost my girlfriend, or any 10,000 different thoughts that would be junk thoughts.
Yes. Absolutely.
That you can, in fact, think the thoughts you want to think
Uh huh.
instead of thinking the thoughts then you're in the habit of thinking.
Yes.
You can feel the way you want to feel rather than feeling the way that you've been in the habit of feeling. And so in the beginning, we begin to change the thoughts and the body. And together, changing the mind, gladdening the mind, bringing the mind up bright, getting the body oxygenated, those two things will then begin to affect the feelings so that we become more satisfied. We feel like a winner. We feel successful.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is the right way to practice. And that the number one skill, again, is sati. To keep remembering, keep plugging at it, keep going. So the sitting meditation would be to get into seclusion so that we can keep practicing this over and over and over again. It's not so much of how long can you watch the breath. It's that while you're watching the breath, what are you doing with the mind? Are you gladdening it, or are you letting the mind just wander away into unwholesome states? Some students call it background thought or background noise.
Mm-hmm.
Another way of talking about it is just more junk thoughts. Only now I've got junk thoughts and I'm watching the breath, rather than this gladdening the mind part, changing it, giving yourself positive thoughts about I can do this. Positive thoughts about what's happening in the moment, how the body feels, where the pain is, how is my posture, do I feel the breath as it goes down into the belly? This is one of the most important things to think about, is what's happening right now.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the kind of thoughts that we want to develop, to cultivate thoughts about what's happening right now with the body.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what we're going to wake up to, is you're going to start changing your thought patterns.
Mm-hmm.
So that whatever has, and a good example of that would be if the thoughts that we have are about the past, then they're unwholesome because the past is gone. If the thoughts are about the future is too complex. We have no clue. That's why there's always a plan B. It's called plan A. They didn't think about everything that needed to be thinking about. Things are too complicated. And so it's better to not think about the future. In fact, thinking about the future and thinking about work that needs to be done, that's just going to add more adrenaline. Getting ready to do the things you're thinking about getting ready to do. Don't think about things that need to be done. Think about how nice things are right now. This very moment is just wonderful. Tomorrow is, I have no clue. The past, that's just old crap. But right now is wonderful. So beginning to have thoughts of how wonderful it is right now. Gladdening the mind, making the mind bright. Giving yourself confidence. I can do this. I can clean the mind out.
Dhammarato, thank you very much. I think I got my explanation. It's 10 o'clock, so I was thinking maybe I could sign off too.
All right. Well, we'll go over this again next time you call. I know that it's kind of noisy where you are now, so we'll finish this video and we'll do the next one.
Thank you very much for your time. I always appreciate that.
Right. Remember to brighten the mind, gladden the mind. Give yourself good thoughts to have.
Yes.
We'll
have a
see
good
you.
one. Namaste. Bye.
Bye-bye.